Hello Sagittarius, this is Natalia with your May angel reading. So I hope that April was a fantastic month, and I do apologize for these readings being listed late. I have been so incredibly busy, it's just been crazy, but I wanted to get a reading to you for May, and I wanted to get it into you in time for the new moon, which we're going to concentrate on in this reading, and the full moon as well. So let's have a look at what's coming up for you in May. And I feel like it's going to be quite an emotional month for you, actually. And being a fire sign, that isn't what your normal default setting. You're all about adventure, you're all about targets, you're all about being driven. And then the emotion is kind of a secondary thing. Yes, I'm not saying you're completely devoid of emotion, but it's not the first thing that comes to mind. It's not your driver. But May is going to be probably going to be quite surprising to you about just how emotional and in touch with your emotions you're going to be. So this is for you if you have your sun sign in Sagittarius, if your rising sign is Sagittarius, or if you have your moon in Sagittarius. So at the beginning of the month, we have the Six of Water, and this is all about the new moon energy, which is happening around the 6th of May. Now, the Six of Water is always about memories, it's about nostalgia, it's about things coming back in from the past. And with so many planets being retrograde, I mean, we've got Mars and Mercury, the most obvious closer planets being retrograde at the moment, they're bound to bring in people from the past. That's what they tend to do. They tend to trigger that in our lives. But also it gets you thinking about people from the past and about feeling a little bit emotional, a little bit, kind of misty-eyed about things that you used to do. And I feel as though if you are in an existing relationship, that you will probably spend more time around the new moon thinking about, oh goodness, this is what I miss about my relationship. This is what I would, harking back to how it was when you first met. And it's a really good energy, actually, because what it does is it keeps us on our toes. It keeps us really thinking about, what can I do to revitalize and refresh things if they've got a bit stale, or if our communication isn't as good as it could be or as it was when we first got together. If you aren't in a relationship, then look out for people from the past coming swinging by again, because that can also be a very big feature of this Six of Water on the new moon, and particularly with another card that I've drawn for you that I focused on the new moon energy for you. So that's coming at the end of the reading, but it does connect very strongly with this, with love and romance. I think love and romance is very much on your mind at the beginning of the month, and about what you really want from that, and how you can rekindle things from either an old relationship that passed out of your life and maybe comes back around again, or how you can take some of the lessons from the past and place them into your relationship in the present. So that's all good for your highest good, though. And then we have the middle of the month, we've got the Nine of Water card. And the Nine of Water is all about wishes coming true. And it's a joyful card, because we have this mermaid. She's been to the bottom of the ocean. She's seen all of these cups, and they're filled with all of the jewels and all of the treasures that she ever wished for. And she's just come back up to the surface, and she just can't believe her luck. And that's how you feel around the middle of the month. So congratulations to you. Look out for some really great things happening. I would say to you, Sagittarius, if you buy lottery tickets, there's no harm in doing it around the middle of May. And I just feel as though there's this really lucky vibe around you. So if there's any kind of raffles going on where you can prize draws or anything, I just feel like sometimes, I know we generally make our own luck, but then there are times when luck comes and finds us, and it's just by pure serendipity. So look forward to being on the receiving end of lucky breaks. Look forward to things that you've wished for and hope to manifest in your life, and setting intentions, wishes, goals, dreams, that they are big potential things to emerge in your life around the middle of the month. And just you feeling like life is really good, when we win something, when we get any kind of blessings happening in our lives, we can feel like, oh wow, this is just great. So just enjoy those feelings. So that's what I said to you about being emotional this month, that your emotions are taking center stages, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy that whole energy that's following you around in the month of May. And then when we get to the end of May, you've got the Six of Earth card. And the Six of Earth brings you back down to earth a bit more. You probably be feeling on safer ground with this energy, because it speaks of sorting finances out. If your finances have been up and down and you've been feeling like, oh my goodness, every time I put cash in the bank, it just seems to leak out. Well, this card promises, well, nothing, there's no promises in life, but this card speaks of really good news when it comes to being able to sort your finances out and get them back onto a level playing field, so you don't feel like you're playing catch up all the time. It speaks of money that's owed to you being paid back, and being able to get opportunities with work that get you back into the black in your bank account. And also it speaks of being able to get loans. So if there's any kind of finances that you need to raise, then this is a really great card to see in your reading. So if any of you listening to this, Sagittarius, and worrying about cash, then end of May is the time to really concentrate and focus on bringing those things in, because you've got these kind of lucky break around the middle of the month, and then the money's flowing in to patch up your finances and get you feeling like everything is, it's so much better, in better balance. So I really hope that does happen for you. I do. Okay. So when it comes to the new moon, I said that I had drawn a card to speak of what are the energies bringing for you for the new moon. What's the message from your angels about that? And the new moon is on the 6th of May, and it's talking about your relationships, your love relationships. So I picked up on this with the Six of Water card, which is very much about nostalgia. It's about people coming back in from the past. It's about romanticizing the past and wanting to, breathe fresh life into your relationship, get it back to how it used to be if you're already in a relationship. And you can see on this card there is this couple, and they've got their heads together. Their third eyes are activated, and then there's these two hearts binding them together. This beautiful pink aura around them, this really loving energy. And this card is saying that if you want to experience a deeper level of love in your relationship, you must both consciously and willingly surrender to one another. This is about a card of vulnerability, because oftentimes we can feel like we want to protect ourselves when it comes to love, because we are afraid of being hurt. And so we want love, but also allowing great love into our lives and into our hearts requires some kind of surrender. And that can be scary. It can be very scary indeed. And so what you need to do is to be able to make yourself vulnerable in order to allow yourself to experience love. That is the only way to do it. So it's about giving and receiving in equal measure. It's about that exchange that goes on between you and your beloved. And it's about being united. So in order to truly love, you have to open your heart, and they have to do the same. But it's like that thing, isn't it? Scissors, paper, stone. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And not wanting to get caught out. But there is a level of just saying, go for it. Open your heart up to this person. And with risk comes reward. But obviously calculated risk. So that's pretty much the message for the new moon. You're going to be very open-hearted and emotional. Woof, enjoy it. And I hope it does bring really great love into your life. And then the final card I've drawn for you comes from the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. And this card is Ishtar. And this card speaks of boundaries. So she's this Egyptian goddess. And she's a bit of a warrior. So in this deck of cards, there's all types of different goddesses. There's the maiden, there's the crone, there's the warrior types. And this is a warrior. This is like really, kick-ass kind of character. And so this applies to you around the full moon. What is the energy of the full moon? And that is about setting your boundaries and going, like, look at her. She means business. There's a little bit of scariness about her. Just saying, when you really value yourself, your worth, that you are going to put a hand up to others and say, I'm not prepared to be pushed around. I'm not prepared to have you drain my energy. If there are things that you've been running around doing, even if it's other people, it's not connected to other people. It's about looking at what you're doing and going, how much of this is actually valuable to me, and how much am I doing because I'm being almost like a martyr doing it, and where you have to just set some boundaries for yourself and say, I'm not prepared to do those things anymore because I'm actually wearing myself out. And I think that will benefit you financially when you make those decisions. That sometimes, if you're in business, you have to cut out smaller transactions because they create a lot of work and they don't add a lot of value or profit. But, you can then concentrate yourself on bigger transactions that, a lot of effort and energy can go into one thing and one customer that brings you a much bigger reward, a much bigger slice of profit. And equally, it's the same with people. I used to run workshops. I used to teach jewelry making, and there would always be one person in a group of 10 who would be really demanding of my time and my energy and asking questions all the time. And they got the biggest value out of the workshop because they were always pestering and pestering. And sometimes you have to just push back and go, you know what, the other people aren't getting the value out of this workshop because you're just pulling, every ounce of my time and focus on you. And it's better, to maybe lose that person's place on the course, but you've got less money, but you're actually not twisted up in knots and running around after one person. So it is about the full moons giving you, illuminating to you where your energy is scattered, where you need to put boundaries down and say, no, I'm not prepared to do this. And then it really is so much more rewarding and so much better for you and your time. So Sagittarius, going to be an emotional month for you, but a very rewarding one. If you are able to open your heart up and open your tear ducts up and get in touch with your heart space, it will be really good and a very blessed month of May too. So I hope you do experience that in May. I'd love to invite you to connect with me on my Facebook page. I'm Angel Lady on Facebook. If you'd like to be follow me day to day, you can do. And if you would like a private reading with me, there is a little eye in the corner of this video and also a link below the video where you can click through to astrolada.com and you can schedule a reading with me. I love to do private readings. I really love to see what's coming up for you and to help pass on angel messages. So look forward to connecting with you in that way. Have a fabulous month. I hope it's everything that you want and you do get your wishes around the middle of May, and do let me know how you get on with that. And take care, and I will speak to you again in June.